Guys, I'll be brief. Obviously, tough result, but proud of their fight, literally all the way to the buzzer. Um, some nice execution when we went to the small lineup late to put us in position to maybe come back and steal that victory, but just came up a little bit short, one possession short offensively or defensively, and might have been able to steal that victory late.
Coach LT, what you just was, the last 6, 7 games you guys been in everything. And I know coaches sometimes take a lot of heat when things go right in, but sometimes the players got to take accountability to learn how to close out things. So what do you say to them to help them figure out, hey, I'm putting you guys in position, but they got to figure it out. So what do you tell them?
Just try to keep building their confidence up and getting used to playing with each other again. Down 9 late, made a really good run, a lot of good executions. And, again, we got 3 shots. There was a discussion, should we go early in the clock? And that was one of the reasons you go early in the clock and not take the last shot. And it led to 2 offensive rebounds, which ultimately could have been the difference. But just couldn't get that last one to go in.
Coach, it seemed like it got harder and harder for NECA to get her offense going after that really, really good first quarter. Moving forward, is it more about finding other spots for her to get open, or is it more about the guards kind of being more of an offensive threat? That way she's got a little bit more room to operate.
Yeah, tonight, we talked in challenge. I thought NECA was so unselfish, almost too unselfish in that second quarter. I thought, she made a lot of good passes out of the paint, which generated open looks for people. But I almost told her she was being too unselfish at times, and we needed to, see if we could get her to the foul line, go up. It's uncanny. She's one of the superstars in the leagues that doesn't get a lot of calls. Took 20 shots, a lot in the paint tonight, didn't get to the foul line. But we just got to continue to play the ball through her, and she'll be a facilitator, but we need her to also score on this team.
Right. Obviously, Coach, nobody wants to be down 9 late, but what bothered you the most about the game?
Bothered me?
Yes.
Not sure anything bothered me. It was, again, if anything for me was our offensive inconsistency at times where, we almost won a game shooting in the 30%. Just again, tells you our defense is grinding, our defense is disruptive. We created a lot of turnovers in the first half. We weren't able to generate that same kind of turnover advantage in the second half.
John.
Coach, regardless of this outcome, I wonder if in the locker room when you spoke to the team, did you deliver the message that we still control our own destiny, being that we got more games to play than this team?
Yeah, it was brief, and we just talked that we still have 5 games to go, and we have one more big game in crypto, and we've got to turn the page and now turn our focus to Seattle.
David.
Hey, Coach, as you mentioned, you're still control your own destiny. You've got 5 games left to go. Just what do you need to see? Or what would you like to see out of these next 5 games that maybe you didn't see tonight?
Well, I'm seeing it. And so what I want to continue is the fight, determination, the effort. I want to be known as a team that's really scrappy. We'll let the wins and losses take care of themselves as long as we're playing hard. There's nights where the execution is going to be better than others. There's nights where you play great basketball. Other nights you got to grind out some ugly games, but the effort's got to be continuous. The intensity, the focus, the physicality. That's what we're looking for each and every night to try to establish what is going to be our base and our culture.
Coach, two things. It looks like you guys were crushing, which has been working really well for you guys. But they were able to slip the screens and get a lot of buckets. I want to see what do you think the ladies could have done better as far as them in stopping the slips, and then the final play there. It looks like it was to NECA to go quickly to try to score. Was that final play executed the way you wanted to? Because it seemed like it became a scramble after that.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of last plays become that way, where great players have to make great plays. We ran a play and tried to catch them over helping on Jordan and put NECA into open space. She lost control of her dribble a little bit, so then we had what we asked them to do is just get in a two-man game and make a play. Obviously, the offensive rebound was huge, and she kicked it to an open jump shooter. We got an offensive rebound, so we got quality looks to win that game. So not disappointed that way. Again, just it's in terms of the defense, our disruption wasn't as effective in the second half as it was in the first half. We weren't creating as many deflections, as many turnovers. Obviously, their counter was slipping a lot of screens, ghosting out of a lot of screens. They won some of those battles. We won some of those battles, but certainly, in the second half, we hold them to 33 points, I believe. And so, again, we would take that against any team in the league if you can keep holding teams, 30 points per half.
Yeah, Kurt, you talked about the effort and the intensity and all that. Has that been a constant this season, even with all the other stuff that you guys have had to deal with?
Certainly. And, hard tonight against a team that has, four really, really talented guards that we're playing without Leja again, the 15th game that she's missed. She's a physical defender that really understands the game as a veteran in this league. We are now a 20% winning percentage team when we play without Leja. We are a 60% winning team when we played with Leja. Think about that difference. Like, we are a top 4 team percentage-wise when we've had Leja in the lineup. We have won 20% of our games in the 15 games that Leja hasn't played. She makes a difference so much on both ends of the ball. We didn't have the opportunity to move Jordan Canada off the ball as much tonight without Leja. So, just again, what she's meant to us, again, shows up tonight, again, especially against a team with that talented of guards.
Thank you.
Someone on Zoom?
Amani, but she doesn't have her hand up. Amani, did you have a question?
Yeah, my question, hi coach, Amani Wright from Insider. My question is, how many ATOs did you run today for Carly? And also too, could you talk about her performance and Zaya's performance as well tonight?
Yeah, obviously when we went small, we tried a couple things with Carly, really worked out. So multiple ATOs were run specifically to Carly, had good execution. Zaya played, almost 20 minutes tonight, big in crunch time when we decided to play small, so left her on the floor for a large percentage of the time. She's aggressive, she's confident, and, she's just getting better and better. And, her biggest growth area is at times when things don't necessarily develop for her, that instead of taking a contested shot, can we move it to a different shot? But, I love the fact that she hunts for shots and she's offensive minded, and we needed that tonight when we were struggling.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, we're gonna start over again.
Nick, I just want to start off with you. You were able to come out early, 10 points in the first half, and then, they made it much tougher the rest of the way. Were they doing anything differently? And Coach mentioned that you kind of, second quarter, kind of became too, less selfish as far as, spreading the ball around, where you kind of felt maybe you could have been, stayed aggressive. Like, was it anything they did, or was it kind of you just kind of like trying to get your teammates involved?
I was just playing the game. I feel like in the beginning, we were flowing, and it wasn't just me that was scoring, it was everybody. And when you're flowing like that, and you're not really sure where the shot's going to come from, then I think that's kind of like the best type of basketball when you're moving around. I didn't realize that I was being too unselfish. I thought I was just trying to get the ball moving. I think we kind of got away from what we were like, how we were flowing in the first half though. And I think focusing a little bit too much when they had like the small lineups, because that's hard to think about. You're now having to figure out how you want to defend cop of the four, and those types of things. So just kind of getting away from what was working, I think is kind of what happened. But we were able to get back to it in the end.
LT.
This question for both of you guys. The last 6 or 7 games, regardless of the win or the loss, you guys have really been scrapping, really been fighting, and it seems like you guys are starting to understand what it's going to take to close out games. So, what do you figure between you two, just to think about it? What are some of the key things you think you have to work on to close out?
I mean, we closed out a lot of games.
We closed out, the last couple of weeks, we've closed out a
Yeah.
lot of games. I mean, basketball is a game of runs, and sometimes, excuse my French, shit just happens. There's nothing that we could do. We got 3 great looks at the end. We just couldn't knock it down. We fought back. We outscored them in the fourth quarter. And like I said, throughout the night, I mean, we had great looks. We just didn't shoot the ball well. And then at the end of the game, we got 3 looks and couldn't knock it down. But life, we'll still continue to look at the film and see what we did wrong, and move forward to the next game.
Jordan and NECA, as leaders on this team, I'm wondering if you've already delivered or plan on delivering a message to your teammates. You're just kind of talking amongst each other that, with 5 games to go, we still control our destiny when it comes to the playoffs.
I mean, I think that's something that we always try to focus on, is just being in the moment, and we focus and respect the opportunity in front of us and the team that's going to come. Obviously, playoffs are looming, and of course, that's in the back of your mind, but just honoring each game, honoring each day, to have the opportunity to compete together, I think is something that we just kind of really focus on. And realistically, we have a group that understands that, we could talk about it and bring attention to it, but we have a group that really understands that already.
Let's go to Amani Wright on Zoom.
Hi, Amani Wright from Insider. Jordan, this is for you. You passed the record for franchise steals for most steals in a single season in Sparks franchise history. So congratulations. And with that, I'm just wondering, where does your defensive tenacity stem from? And is there anything specifically you work on defensively that just makes you an elite defender?
I think I'm just have the mentality of being aggressive on the ball or off the ball, and just having the mindset that I don't want anyone to score on me. And me being quick, I'm able to recover a lot on defensive plays and able to stay in front of tough guards. So that's just kind of the mentality that I have day in and day out of, not wanting to get scored on, and using my quickness to disrupt guards and have a knack for the ball, and that's pretty much it.
And last question right here.
Jordan, this one's for you. Without Liga tonight, how much was on your plate? Coach talked about you weren't able to play off the ball as much, and it's kind of been working for you guys lately. So how tough was it for you tonight to mostly be on the ball and one having to set everyone up and run the offense?
I mean, that's my job anyway. Obviously Liga is a impact player, and she comes in, she takes that load off of me a little bit, but in the beginning when she was out, I had to take on that burden. So I'm used to it. And Jazz came in, and she was able to run the PG and able for me to get off the ball as well. But that's just kind of the role that I have on this team. I have a lot to carry, I have a lot on my plate, and I accept the challenge day in and day out. Obviously Liga helps me with that, but that's just kind of like my role on this team, and understanding that I have to take on that burden, regardless of who's in and who's out. I'm going to do it every day in and day out. So that's just kind of, it didn't really bother me that much. But I was still thankful to have, Jazz come in and play a little bit of the one and help me get off the ball a little bit.
Oh, John, last question.
Non-basketball related. Just wondering about this fit is Compton legend DeRozan, one of your your favorite players or something? Just
Well, I mean, he's a LA legend. And you know, my best friend is actually her sister is married to D Rose. So I mean DeMar DeRozan. So yeah, I just wanted to wear it today, represent him, and that was pretty much it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.